You're listening to the Biz Babes with Soul podcast with your host, Melody Spencer, a show where female entrepreneurs get radically honest about life and business. Today's episode is sponsored by Swiftly Social Digital Marketing. Swiftly Social helps people create a heart-centered digital marketing and Facebook ads strategy that gets you results. For a free video tutorial on how to grow your Facebook following by 10,000 or more, visit swiftlysocial.com.
Hey guys, welcome to the Biz Babes with Soul podcast. I'm your host, Melody Spencer, and I'm so excited to have the lovely Diana Bianchi here today. So she is a future podcaster and an intuitive business coach, and she has a crazy story about how she found my podcast. I was actually on her short list of podcasts she wanted to be on, which this is probably going to air a while from now. We're recording in June 2018, so this podcast right now is fairly new. So I was shocked at the time that I was on her list of podcasts she wanted to be on, because I still feel like I'm recording to the void of the internet, and I don't have that many people listening. I mean, I have like maybe 400 an episode, but that's not a lot compared to, most people. But so that was super cool and exciting to have somebody be like, oh, I love your show and I want to be on it. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was very funny. So the whole story is that I started having this idea of being a guest on podcasts, and my coach told me, just go out there, listen to the podcasts you're interested in, and then that's the strategy behind. And then when you like them, just send a word to the podcaster, because they will like it, and I hear you now that you like it. So that was the main strategy, and I spent like hours and hours of listening and searching, and yours was on my list, that's true, but honestly I didn't have time to listen to one of your episodes because I had so many others on my list. But I remembered your name, so when I saw you, I was like shocked. Wow, but I already spotted her and her show.
That's so funny.
And then I went back and I immediately listened to one of your latest episodes, and I was, and she's awesome, and she's doing, and that was so funny too, because you described your intention behind your show, and it was exactly what I had in my head to do in my Facebook business page. I just wanted to create a sort of journal about how my business is flowing and the ups and downs. And I was not very sure if it's very marketable thing to do. And then when I've seen that you have done it in a podcast format, I was, oh my God, but she's so right. So I should have done it too.
Well, there's totally space for that. I think the more people, more women in business who are honest about what's going on, the better. It'll kind of break through this fakeness of the internet and trying to look perfect all the time.
Yeah, but there's a distance between showing off some weaknesses we have and all the strategy behind, which is still one, which is like show yourself as not being perfect, and then the client will resonate with you. And then there is a completely different perspective of just putting out there as you are, struggling with your business creation and your business topics, and struggling because as entrepreneurs we're really struggling from the beginning. We have a huge dream, a huge passion, and we are just, yay, we go for it. And then, how do I do that? Oh my God, and that, and that, and that.
Yeah. So
confusion from the beginning.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and how you got started and all that.
Okay, so as you can hear, my accent tells you that I'm not an English speaker. I'm living in Switzerland, and I'm in a French-speaking town in Geneva, if you figure it where it is. So Switzerland is a very alpine country, it's a lot of mountain. I'm living on a river, or not a riverside. Oh yes, obviously also on a riverside, but on a lake side. And I'm in fact still working full time because I'm considering myself not yet completely independent of my business. So I'm working as a physics teacher.
Wow.
Which kind of makes me someone pretty much weird because I'm a physics teacher giving sessions of Akashic records reading and being an intuitive business coach. So I think it's what makes me quirky and also interesting. I hope so. So I hope I attract people that loves that kind of mixture.
Yeah.
And how it all came, very strangely enough, it came from a very long path of problems I had in my private life that got me to go into the personal development area. So I've learned a lot of things about meditation, yoga, and Reiki, and crystals, and all kind of things. And yes, I know they're all very woo-woo.
No, you can be as woo-woo as you want on this podcast, because I'm very much that way. And most of my guests, if you've listened to any other episodes, are like that too. I think I just attract those kind of people.
So. Oh, that's very refreshing, because I hope attracting the same kind of people. And the fact is that I think I still have something behind my head telling me, how can you be a woo person having your physics background? But I do. And as a matter of fact, preparing this show, I was just browsing in internet about quotes, searching some beautiful quotes. And there is one, I just stumbled on it, and I loved it because it was about science. Can I read it to you?
Yeah.
So it was, I didn't knew that person, Robert Greene Ingersoll, I don't know if you know him, but it's from the last century, I think. But he said something like, the glory of science is that it is freeing the soul, breaking the mental manacles, getting the brain out of bondage, giving courage to thought, filling the world with mercy, justice, and joy. And it's exactly what science means for me. It's just freeing my spirit, really, really. And I've seen so many scientists doing exactly the opposite. I mean, more they're thinking themselves being scientists, more they were prisoners in their minds. So I don't like that. But so my woo side comes from this freedom I gained because I've done science. It's pretty much funny. So to go, so there is a leap between my self-development learning curve and me becoming a intuitive business coach. So I've done a very interesting and passionate training in Akashic Records readings. And the lady who gives these trainings, it's Andrea Hess, and she is having a very bold statement that if you want really to test out what you have learned about yourself, if you want to really test out your self-expression, the best way to do it is to create your own business, because you'll have a feedback extremely quickly. And by the way, I choose to do podcasting as a way of putting me out, because I've aligned my tools with my own characteristics, and I've seen, okay, so podcasting will be what is the best fit for me. And it really happened, as I told you before, magically. In 10 minutes, 4 interviews already scheduled, and then 10 days after I'm at 7, and then if I'm just going on and on, I can have, I think, 1 interview per day. I just have to. So this is the kind of signal that, yes, I'm very aligned. This is, my energy is flowing naturally, because I found my channel, my natural channel. And so she is right from that point of view. I mean, build your business, and you'll have so quick feedbacks that you're aligned or not on your I call this globally in your zone of genius. But it's
I'm a big fan of that too. I agree.
So that's how I started creating my business. That as at the beginning, it was only reading Akashic records for others without a specific topic behind my head. I was starting out, and I've done like for 2 years just readings, and not online. I've done it locally in Geneva. And at one point, it was like everyone was referring to me, people, but I had struggled to ask them money because they were friends of friends of friends of friends. And then I said, okay, I have to turn it on and really having a business, not just a hobby when I'm sharing my passion with others. So that's when I had the idea of going online, which is really another world, because you cannot, at the beginning at least, you cannot just create your clients by referrals at the beginning. You have to start somewhere. And to start somewhere, you have to have a topic. You have to have a message. You have to yes, you can afford having a very broad message. I would have continued, go on with telling I can help everyone, but I would have to wait like 1, 2, 3 years and build my expertise, authority, which is doable. Things can be done like this, but I was too impatient because I really wanted to test out that method of having the feedback of your business that is really starting to work, because you're aligned and you know how to align yourself. And so it was a choice of, do I want to start now, or do I want to start later and build slowly my authority? And I decided to go now. I need it. I'm too joyful and impatient to just wait 2 years. So that's the moment where when I hired a coach myself, because I said, okay, you know who you are, but you don't have the business skills, and even less the online business skills. So after 1 year of buying expensive trainings online, I think everyone who is trying to do her online business knows that problem, the shiny object syndrome. So I've been there. I bought a lot of things, almost thrown up my finances with that. So then I said, okay, now stop it. It's not going you anywhere. Just hire a coach and speak one-on-one with someone. And in 4 months, I've done more than all the year before when I tried to do it by myself. So
yeah, that's so true. That's the issue I had. I too have done 1 million courses, 1 million freebies, like all that. But it wasn't until I hired a coach last year, and I've been doing this for almost 6 years.
Oh my God.
But I struggled and struggled and struggled. And I still say this year that every year is different in business, and I'm always learning, I'm always growing. And this year has been fantastic, but also awful, because I've been growing and stretching and changing, but that's good in the long term. But it really does come down to hiring the right person to mentor you.
Yes, because I think one thing that it's coming from my intuitive modality is that, and it's very weird for a woo person to tell it, but that's what I like in my modality, is that mindset and energy and emotions are perfect work on. No problem with that. And my modality works with them in its own method in Akashic Records. But the most important thing is the actions. And I love how my modality is explaining this. We are, and everyone knows that, we are spirit beings. I don't know the word.
Yeah.
Living in a physical body, but that means really something very profound. That means that we are all energy, and we choose today to incarnate in the densest form of energy, which is matter, the physical plane. It's the densest one. which means that all the decisions we are taking in this realm of the physicality, those are the most impactful. And of course, those are guided behind by our emotional state, mind state, etc., energetic state. Everything behind it's very important, but the most important are the actions we are taking. So from there came a very funny advice my teacher had. Is like, sometimes you just have to come up with some actions that are, how to say, symbolic, if you want, towards your goal. And I remember the last year, I just decided to change my car. And I had an old car I had from 16 years, I think. I was in love with my car. It was my old friend, you know. And then I decided to go for another one. And I bought myself a sport car. And I'm not used to handle that. And you know, in Europe, we are using cars with gears. You're changing speeds. And that one has so hard gears. I mean, I really got, I don't know how to say in English, a tendinite when you have so that's so hard to change the gears. But that was my statement that I'm going to change. I'll go from the wise little girl doing all the time what people ask her to do, and I'll go for the bold person who's building up her business. And that's my statement physically. I will buy my car, sports one.
Yeah. So what has been your biggest challenge so far as you've created this business?
I think I understood it only now, and I'm very happy understanding it, because I know very well now how to help other startup people. Because all the time people are telling you, it's so overwhelming, too much information, so much confusion. And yes, it's true, but it's too broad as a message. I mean, when you go to someone and you tell him, yeah, you're confused, and this is not helping them out. I know I'm confused, and what else? And then you tell them, but you know, the entrepreneurial journey is a confusing one, because if you're authentically creating your path, well, you'll always have to take new decisions and craft your own path. So you'll be always confused, and the person will look at you, but oh gosh, that's not what I want to hear. I want to get out from confusion. And what I found out is that you can identify and have a clarity on some specific points, like, okay, so here is who I am, and that I love, and I knew who I was before starting my business. That was my first point with Akashic Records. I know who I am, so now I can align with that, all the rest. And then you have the rest, and the rest is simple, is what do I want to play right now? In which area is your target market, your ideal clients? Okay, so what do I want to choose, and with whom I want to play, because it's a play with the other person. And then, okay, so what game I will choose with that person, because you can choose, like I've done, working online, or you can choose to work live, or you can choose to work like a speaker or like a coach, or like, I don't know, you can even decide to create products and everything. So what kind of game you want to play? And then you have to choose the bricks you have to build to create your game. And confusion may come from all the levels. I mean, you can be confused because you don't know how to put together your email campaign or your lead page. You can be confused because the technical part can be confusing for you, or you don't have the strategy yet clear in the head, and so you can be confused because of that, or because you didn't understand that you have to be clear about who you really are, and you're finding yourself in front of a video, and in fact you're absolutely not at all good. I don't mean good because you don't have the skill, and your energy is not made to be shared like this through video. And I've seen people who are forcing themselves to be on the video because it's very trendy right now. And that's not who they are. And really, this is making them not shine, but it's shadowing them. They are forcing themselves. So I think my biggest struggle I had is to understand that knowing my first level, who I am, wasn't enough to be out of the confusion. And I was feeling so guilty about that. I'm supposed to help people find themselves out and then manifest their dream business because they know who they are and how it comes. And I can't do that for myself. So I was feeling so guilty. I wasn't daring saying to anyone that I can help them. And, it's the same question about, do the coaches need coaches? And I think we both agree.
Yes.
We need coaches too. But I understood that the help I've received was not on the level when I can myself help others. So it's okay. I've been helped on other levels.
Well, I think that I appreciate the fact that you still struggle and the fact that you don't have it all figured out, because that makes you a real person. I know when I've hired coaches, I just assumed they knew everything. And they had to be like, no, we're not perfect, which made them more relatable and made it less intimidating for me.
Yes. And by the way, because I told you I don't know if I've told you that I'm a physics teacher.
Uh-huh.
Physicist. I'm a physics teacher. And I'm teaching physics in high school. And I remember I started 9 years ago teaching. Before I've done IT programming. And when I started, I was, oh my God, what's going to happen when a student will ask me a question I don't have the answer? It was so stressful for me. And I've spent like 2 or 3 years to come up with this very simple answer, like, you know what? Very good question. I don't know. I'll make some search about it, and that's all. And they're very happy with that. And I think I'm coming with that experience also in my coaching practice. I don't really mind not knowing things, because I know I cannot know everything.
Yeah, I mean, we'd all love to know everything, but that's just not possible. We don't have enough time, enough brain space to know everything in the universe.
What I love to do instead is sending clients, because, for example, if they are searching their niche and they are really stuck on it, and all the help I can give them about, here who you are, here is who you are, your energy is like this, so you will thrive in this kind of situation, is still very broad. So maybe the person is still in need of method of finding the niche, and I'm not delivering that method myself, but I know coaches, very good ones, that do that. So that's a perfect solution for me, of partnerships between coaches. Like, I have a client, she's still struggling with that. Can I send it to you and refer it to someone? So
yeah. I mean, I do that all the time too. For if someone needs a really good web designer or a graphic designer or just something I don't do or don't want to do anymore, I send them to somebody else, because I know so many incredible people that can help in that specific need if I can't do it. So yeah, I'm all about collaboration too.
Yes, that's perfect. So I love that because everyone tells that the coaching industry is so what's the term, with the concurrence, and everyone is eating everyone, and that.
Yeah, it's oversaturated. It feels like that, but what I've discovered is there's a lot of people who are coaches and consultants, but there's not a lot of people that are actually truthful about their experience and actually can live up to their promises.
So I have been lucky.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that want to convince people that they can make them a lot of money and they can do a lot of stuff. And that's what I've come up against as a marketing person, is a lot of the clients I end up working with have been hurt in the past by people that have given them false promises and not lived up to those promises. So I kind of have to come up against that stigma.
Yeah, so it's true that, but I think they are going there because, and it is true, nobody will invest money if what you promise them is not something that they need, they really need. And there is this connection between what the people think they need and what they really need.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to put our offer into some terms that makes believe people that we can give them what they think they need. And so many times it's worded like, 10K in 10 days and things like this.
Yeah.
And well, obviously I choose my marketing coach, which has a message of creating your own message from your heart.
Yeah.
From your hype. So I'm avoiding all this, but I see from where it's coming. And I think the intention at the root is not so bad. I mean, really, it's just getting in front of a client when the client doesn't know really what he needs or she. And then there have been some exaggerations there.
Yeah. So what do you feel like is your biggest fear as a business owner and as an entrepreneur?
Well, until very last month, I think it was not being enough, really, because all I've said before, I didn't understood very well why I was confused myself from my starting point. I was starting everything. So I'm supposed to know myself, know what to do. I'm supposed to have my inner compass. I'm supposed to, etc., etc. And I was still confused. So I was feeling very guilty. And I think I totally blocked my client attraction because I didn't want to be in front of them and not assuming my method. And now I think what I'm fearing most now is to be trapped again into the hustling mode.
Yeah.
I think when we are confused, we don't like it. So if we are proactive persons, we are searching our solutions. So what we and by doing is hustling a lot, going from training to training, learning and trying and implementing, and then it's not working, and then hustling again and again. And I've done that for 1 year, almost burning me out. So I'm just my goal for the next year is just like slow down now. Slow down, things will come. Everything now it's clear in my head. I know I'll have a lot of confusion, but how to do this, how to do that, and I know I will change my own interest will change. I don't know if you've already experienced that because you've started 6 years ago, but I know theoretically, and I know it will happen. Now I'm really targeting starting entrepreneurs because I've been there. I've been there so close. I know what we are feeling when I'm starting, and I know how to get them out from there. But I know that afterwards, I would love to work with medium entrepreneurs who are already pretty good working. I'm doing actually. I have 3 friends that have their businesses in that stage, and I'm doing with them their second client journey. I'm preparing for my next year. And then I was thinking, I don't know why this morning I was thinking about leaders that have teams. And I think it's so beautiful to give them another tool from another point of view, just giving them the Akashic records information about their team members and see how they're build, how they can use them and make them strive, make them become even more productive and more happy, and all the team being more harmonious because the team leader knows very well how the energy is going in his team. So I think that's a pretty fun thing to put together too. So I forgot your question. I don't think it was
just your biggest fear. Yep.
So I've been far away from there. Yeah. So no, my biggest fear is to not balance enough my
Mm.
private life, my health life, my work life. So I have to be more attentive with that.
Yeah, that's been a huge struggle for me too. It's gotten better, but yeah, recently for me, it's been a struggle again because, like I said, I'm changing and growing my business, but that also puts a lot of stress on me to make things right, to get the right clients, and the more I get in that headspace, the more I want to hustle, the more I want to grind. And then I realized, oh, I've been working for like 12 hours and I haven't, gotten up, I haven't stretched, I haven't meditated, I haven't had lunch, or I haven't like talked to my husband. You just get in that headspace of working all the time to.
It's a bubble, but that's a sign that we are passionate about, which I really love. I love that about from the moment I started this business creation. I'm a very passionate. I'm almost always passionate about something, but it was a hobby, and now I'm passionate about my business, and that's a lot of change when you've been always an employee, and suddenly you're becoming passionate about your own business. It's a huge change, but that's the danger, I think.
Yeah, it's both a blessing and a curse. Like I am passionate about what I do. I love my clients, but it's so easy for me to get into that scarcity mindset of like, I need a client, I need to make money, just that. I think it's a fear again that you're like, okay, I have this mentality of, because I grew up this way, the harder I work, the more money I make.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to learn that the more I let it be easy, the more I let the universe kind of take control, I can still make money. That's the lesson I've been trying to learn this year, and it's still in progress.
So I totally get. So I know those are mindset blocks and maybe emotion blocks, maybe something blocking you in your Akashic records, but still action and the energy behind your action is what will get out from there. So acting with non-scarcity mind behind, taking action towards having more abundance, and taking actions for example, if you're taking this client thinking about, because if I don't take him, I will not have enough money. Even if you have the money, because the energy behind was a scarcity energy, that will still create scarcity. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I've worked a lot on this, and I think I'm of the mindset, just from the way I've grown up, that I keep thinking, okay, I've worked on this and now it should be better. But it really is, it's a progressive journey, and yes. I'm always going to be working on it. It's just part of me wants to just be done with it, just say, okay, I'm good. Let's move on.
That's funny because in fact, you're even more bold than I am, because I didn't dare just quit my job and start my business.
Yeah.
So, and it comes from if you want, a scarcity mind, or from a very not how to say, I don't know the word. when you're prudent, when you're making.
Yeah.
So I kept my full-time job because I want to be joyful as a journey for me. I don't want to be stressed about money. So in Switzerland, we are so blessed to have the job of teacher is extremely well paid. So we have.
That's good. Yeah, that's not so much here.
No, that's why I'm telling, because it may not seem obvious, but really we are living very well in Switzerland when we are teachers. So I don't care about money at all. And I'm very happy of not needing clients to live my life. So really, I'm just needing clients as a feedback of the universe that I'm aligned with myself. That's all.
Yeah, you just saying that makes me think, like, how would I live, how would I change if I didn't need money? Like if it was just wanting to serve and help my clients, which I do. I want to serve and help them, but also there is that energy behind it that I need money to live.
Yeah. But that's a reality, because you have bills to pay. So of course, and I'm doing this differently than you do. I kept my full-time job to pay my bills.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, this is a reality. I mean, it's something that I don't want, because very often the energetic and intuitive coaches are speaking from this perspective of mindsets, scarcity mindset, and sometimes I feel that clients can feel not understood. But I have bills to pay, and just telling me that trust the universe is not really going to pay them.
Yeah, I feel like you have to do both. Like,
yes.
For me, I try to listen to my intuition. I try to take inspired action. And then I believe that the money is going to come out of those inspired actions.
Yes, inspired.
Like this podcast, I created it because it felt like it was an inspired action. I did not do it with the purpose of making money, but I hope that eventually it will, because it's a thing that I'm passionate about, and I believe it needs to be out in the universe.
And I think sometimes it's very funny, because I'm so much in love with inspired actions. It's when you feel from inside that it's an urge. You have to do it. And sometimes you can even be disagreeing with your coach, if you have one. Like, I mean, your coach is coming with her or his own system and is telling you do this, and you're just feeling it's not right. It's not a resistance. Something is not right. And then if you're very aware of what's happening inside of you, and I remember I've done that lately with my own coach, because she said, okay, this freebie idea is a right one, and then I was procrastinating. I procrastinated 3 weeks. And then I was telling to myself, why am I procrastinating? That's not happening usually in my business side. Then I realized it was not yet that. It was not the giveaway I wanted to create it. It was an empty. I still felt it being void of value. And I was so much, not upset, but bored with so many giveaways, void of value. And by the way, I love yours. I know I told you before, but I have to tell it online. I love yours because it's so rich and so really generous. I love it.
Yeah, I've had other people say that. They were like, oh, you actually gave value. Because I think so many people's freebies are just like thinly veiled sales pitch.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I don't like that at all. So that's why I procrastinated, because something inside of me was, no, it's not yet good enough. It's not enough value inside. And by the way, my freebie will be, when it will be finished, I hope in October, if that's the moment where this episode will be on air, I hope it will be finished. But it will be about bringing more clarity to people struggling in the confusion, and helping them, really making it will be a quiz, helping them see where they are, why they are struggling, what is confusing them, and then afterwards understanding, so I'm on the first level. So if I'm tinkering the first level, all that I've done in the second level and the third level and the fourth level of my business will obviously shake, because I've tinkered in the first level. So only by giving them a view of the whole business structure, and helping them find out where they are working right now, and learning skills right now, will help them being less confused and less stressed and less discouraged. Because sometimes it's like, what all that I had done is rambling. So.
Yeah, that clarity is definitely something people need. I think that sounds like a great freebie, and I think, if you promote it in the right way, people will really resonate with it.
Yeah, I hope so. But that's also the thing I decided not to rush too much. I think I put already 1.5 months to build it in a correct way. So it's okay. I'm just in the mindset of I think if I'm putting all this time, it's because I need it. You have to be careful about resistance because you're out of a comfort zone, and not being inspired. You see the difference?
Yeah, for me, procrastination comes in the form of fear. So, like, I've been putting together a webinar for 2 weeks because I know it's a good way to get new clients, and every time I share value with potential clients, they end up hiring me because they see my expertise, they see my energy, all that. But I've been procrastinating on finishing it because I think there's a fear of people judging me or me putting it out in the universe and no one watching it, that kind of thing.
Or not, it can be something else. So that's from my modality, that there is something very funny how some people are made, and I'm one of those people. Just think about, maybe it will work for you. Some souls are just made to express themselves, enjoying the path, so more than the goal. And for them, when they come very close to finishing their actual current task, they're like, oh yeah, demotivated, no more interest because it's almost done. So what they need to do, and just play with it, maybe it will work. What they need to do is create for themselves the next step, and afterwards I will do what, and if the next step will be very, how to say, attractive for you, you'll put the effort to finish the first step in order to go to the second step.
Yeah, that's true, because so for over a year I've thought about doing like that 6-month mentorship program for new entrepreneurs. And last week I just was like, okay, I'm doing it. And I created an application, I wrote posts, I sent out emails, and I'm almost done with the sales page, all within like 3 days.
Wow.
But it's because I feel excited about it. I felt like it was inspired action.
Yes. And what happened?
Yeah, and I've already gotten 3 applications.
So it's online. It's already done.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. Sometimes you just have to go with what you're feeling passionate about. But at the same time, I have that, I call them thought gremlins. Those thoughts in the back of my mind going, no one's actually going to pay you. Like, that's not going to work. This is stupid. You should give up. Blah, blah, blah. Wow. So it's kind of balancing those two things, the yes, I'm going to do it, and the no, you suck.
Well, but remember, what really counts more is action anyway. So even if you fear not having clients, do it anyway, and you'll see. So
yeah, you're right.
So the thing I've been doing, I was so happy to have all those interviews scheduled these days that I decided to finally post something on my Facebook group, Facebook page, even if for now there is nobody there. And inspired action, we were speaking about, I just wanted to create a series of quotes. I love quotes. And you were speaking about inspired actions and creativity, and I think sometimes we have to put some discipline into it, and that's the quote I have. I'm sorry, it's just happened that I've just grabbed several quotes. It wasn't made.
No, it's fine.
So I have one from Robert Greene that I didn't know either, but I think I will go search about him. Robert Greene. And he said, creativity is a combination of discipline and childlike spirit. And I think when we are really inspired and we are doing this in a rush, we are very like childs who are playing in their favorite game, and then it comes a moment when we really want to finish it. We have to be a little bit disciplined. So
yeah,
you have to find the right combination.
Well, this has been such a fun conversation.
Yes,
I just love talking to you. I love your energy and your spirit, and yeah.
I loved it too. Really, it's I love it. So my podcast will be probably not the same kind. I will make it more like insights I have during my dog's walks.
I love that. I think that's such a great idea.
But because I was recording myself speaking about subjects I had on my dictaphone, and I was listening back, and I said, wow, but this could be just like that put online, and it's a podcast episode already. So that's
Yeah.
how.
So if people want to find out more about you and possibly work with you, where can they find you online?
So for now, being June, I'm only on Facebook and LinkedIn. So Facebook business page is Manifest Your Dream Business, which is all about this idea of creating energetically the right conditions to create your dream business. And so that is on Facebook, and in LinkedIn is my name, Diana Bianchi.
Wonderful.
And I bought already the domain name for my website, Manifest Your Dream Business. It was free. So I took it, but I'm building it right now. And hopefully in October, my giveaway about clarity and confusion will be ready. But for now, it isn't. So for now,
all right. Well, I believe you can do it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And I hope that all of you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Until next time, guys. Bye. Thank you for joining me for the Biz Babes with Soul podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. To learn more about me, Melody Spencer, and the show, please visit swiftlysocial.com.